Mike Wethington, founder and CEO of Outsell. We just talked to the president.
And chief bottle washer.
Well, that's why they put you in charge. That's why
That's
why you're still in charge. We'll put it that way.
I have lots of skills.
Well, I think one of the lanes that the conversation hasn't gone yet today, and a lot of conversations we've talked a lot about technology. We've talked a lot about people, but blending together why technology is actually changing the face of what people are doing, both in the stores and on the front line, seems like a topic that you're probably uniquely qualified to talk about.
Yeah, my perspective is I've been around technology for 40 years. And,
all right, I think that you just said that, I have to ask.
Yeah, we got to break in on that.
What's the first piece of technology you remember, like, I'm really excited to work on this?
Well, actually, I'll tell you kind of a fun story. I started Xerox out of college. And because they had the best sales training in the world at the time.
They did, notoriously great sales training.
And I was in a demo room with this thing called the Xerox Star.
I know exactly where you're going with this. It had a GUI.
Right.
Yep.
It had a GUI. I looked at it and said, that is the future of computing. The difference was there was one other person who saw the same machine about the same time and ended up doing something about it, and that was Steve Jobs.
Yes, it was.
So
that's right. Yeah. He didn't invent the GUI. He saw it at Xerox.
It was created at Xerox Park.
Okay. So, yeah, right in Rochester, wasn't it?
Yeah.
New York.
Actually, it was in Palo Alto, California.
Was it?
They moved. Xerox was based out of Rochester, New York. But
so back then we've moved on quite a bit from the GUI now. And now we have Neuralink in people's heads, just getting them to yeah, we'll get to that.
Okay, that was a whole
we go from Steve Jobs to Elon Musk, and now to Mike.
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen a time in my 40 years that's more exciting about technology than today. And I don't know of another industry that is more interesting related to technology than automotive.
Yeah.
And
isn't that wild?
Oh, it's cool. It's
I
fun.
love it.
And what's fun about it is that you're always on the edge. You're always trying to find opportunities. And one of the things I like about you guys is you're focused on trying to help change the industry and change people's lives and change it in a way that's positive for the industry and for the people. And so with all the technology that is happening I've found over many years is that technology can either be looked at as the beast or your friend. And if you approach it that it can be your friend, what it does is it helps make you more productive. And it allows us, and we've done it within our organization. I remember through different times where we've evolved more of our technology, we've increased AI, we've increased automation. I was always worried that the people would be concerned about their jobs. But what ends up happening is exactly what I told them would happen, which is that they would start to do jobs that had even more fulfillment because the technology was taking the more mundane tasks.
Yes, it doesn't replace the number of jobs. What it does is allow you to focus on more meaningful deployment of a human's brain and the human experience.
Exactly, and that's what this industry is going to face more and more. I mean, this industry within automotive, let's face it. I mean, there are some huge market forces that are in play, and one of the key ones is the evolution of technology within the industry, and this technology change from ICE engines, internal combustion engines, to EVs, to potentially hydrogen. That's putting so much investment into this industry that ultimately it's squeezing the margins of the manufacturers, which will ultimately squeeze the margins of the dealers.
Yep.
And what's ultimately going to happen out of that is that we've got to be able to find ways to be more productive. And so the use of technology, especially with AI-driven solutions, is it automates a lot of the mundane. It ends up it creates and finds opportunities through the data that we never could find as human beings.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I was just saying this morning to someone that even my personal use of ChatGPT as a tool for like use within my day has accelerated my productivity in the last year way faster than I ever could have imagined. I say it like this. I'm like,
and you couldn't imagine a year ago.
No, not a chance. At NADA last year, right?
Yes.
GPT 3.5 came out after NADA last year.
And everyone was like, what is this thing?
Yeah.
It hasn't even been a year.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh
and
my
now we have
gosh.
GPT-4 and like it's a totally different thing. And so we're leveraging that. How are you
We were way behind. I mean, early in that. I mean, we were early adopters. I mean, I came from a background around neural networks and fascination with all that, and so we applied, machine learning models in 2015.
Wow.
I mean,
Very early.
that's 9 years ago, and so it's going to continue to evolve, and companies that are not looking for solutions that leverage technology and leverage AI, they're going to be, eventually like the dodo birds. They're going to be gone.
Yeah,
I mean,
you're exactly
so
right.
You have to embrace it. But part of embracing that, you got to make sure that you bring your people along with it. Your people have to see an opportunity of what they can do to fulfill their lives, to an even better level. And when you show that, people rally. I mean, if they have a vision of what can be done and where you can go, and if you take good care of them, you can do amazing things. And that's what we built this thing based off with Outsell, is that, we have people who are, it's not technology that's our largest asset, it's our people.
So we're heading in full head of steam into 2024. We talked about there is no normal anymore. What do you hope to accomplish by the end of this year?
Boy, I tell you what, that's a big question.
It is.
I mean, from our standpoint, one of the key things, quite frankly, it's not so much around technology. It's actually, it's really about people. And what I mean by that is that, we've obviously are focused on building great software and figuring out ways to leverage data to understand customers and engage them more effectively for our dealers. But what we're really focused on this year is that these types of solutions are becoming really mission critical for a dealership and for an organization to better engage with consumers. And with that, organizations, the dealerships, the dealer groups need to have the skills to be able to develop their people to figure out how to leverage it. And so we're amping up. I mean, our mission and theme this year is about three things. One, more implementations, creating an ecosystem of more smart solutions that can all work together within our platform. More AI functionality to make things easier for the dealer and better for the consumer. And then more support, which goes back to more support into the dealerships to be able to help the dealerships' people be able to leverage that technology, get better outcomes, and that will be the beginning of even more intellectual capital that we've got to continue to develop within our organization to support dealers.
You got a couple things on your plate.
Oh my gosh,
Mike,
that's a busy year.
thank you so much
10
for
months.
spending a little bit of time with us. I feel like you've got to go get to work right now off of that.
Watch
It's
those bottles.
always a pleasure hanging out with you, Mike. Yeah.
Thanks, Mike.